about time for me to buy a new one. Try this again. Need confirmation that it's on. We'll get started right away. Is it lagging or is it good? And I need you to delete the first one. I don't know if it posted, but eventually delete the first one. I don't know what's up with these flies out here. Tripping. But shalom. Crackle and background noise. I don't know. Let me try something. I don't know what the humming will be, but nonetheless. Alright, well, let's get it going. Welcome, the true Hebrews united of the Lord Yeshua. This is the Feast of Tabernacles. Definitely give all honor, chilling under the tabernacle. All honor to the Almighty Yah through His Son Yeshua Mashiach. Definitely all the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists, the teachers, the elders, the bishops, the deacons across the whole planet. Maybe let's lower this. The whole planet teaching this word and persuading people to repent from their sins and come to this gospel. Definitely thank all the brothers and sisters across the whole planet keeping the Almighty's commandments, statutes, judgments, precepts, and ways. And all the people on the Facebook and the YouTube that share, like, subscribe, comment on the videos. Definitely check out the YouTube video. It's Feast of Tabernacles. So you know what's on. Feast of Tabernacles, day 1 started last night. So I wanted to show you a little bit about the tabernacle I built before we get started. Also, go ahead and tag who you need to tag on. Keturah, the new people, the Neek, Brandon, and Stacion, Angel, every person you need to tag. Johnny, tag all those people on the video, Facebook, because that way they may not know when service starts today. So shalom. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of the tabernacle. So what I did to make my booth this year is, as you can see, this one, you can't see it. Maybe I can show you. I'll show you this camera doesn't extend very far, so it's limited on my extension. But as you can see, I'm at this normal park I used to like going to before they start charging for parking, but I just parked down the street. So let's see if I can show you guys properly. Alright, so over there you see that's a little post. Maybe the sun's in the eye. There you go. Put my hand over it. See that one post? Then I have something stringing across. Then I come down for the other. Then I put 2 bushes on the sides of that. Then if you see over here, I'm looking at the computer while I'm trying to do the camera. I have cross braces going across. There's like 3 or 4 of them. Bear with me. The sun's in the camera's eyes too, so I gotta put my hand in the block. There you go. Get some shade. There we go. Alright, I'm probably making you guys dizzy. That better? Alright, so you see those cross braces coming across? And then after that I cut some goodly trees and I put the booth. So if you live in an apartment, for all you guys new that Feast of Tabernacle, if you live in an apartment, you're probably going to have to go, so you can see one pillar, little thing. So find a tree or a branch, or you can make the whole thing self-sustaining, supporting itself. Here's the other one, and here's this one. Can't see, but probably have to go to a park. There's a lot of canyons out there that has trails where people just naturally walk, you know what I'm saying? And then just go off the trail and find a nice little tree, or find a place where you want to put your tabernacle and set up your tabernacle. As you can see, I made my little roof. So this is me inside the actual tabernacle, in the booth, I will say. And you know, it just takes a little bit. It don't take too much time. I definitely praise the Almighty, because I think these last week, I didn't even realize, because I haven't been here, they paid some like city workers to come and trim down a whole bunch of these trees. So a lot of these branches, not the ones that you have to cut, because it says cut goodly ones, cut some nice ones. So these I had to cut today. But a lot of these branches, man, they were already chopped down, like all my supports and everything. It was just easy pickings. Didn't have to do loppers, or didn't have to. Sometimes you have to get a saw to get your main supports. You might have to buy a saw, whatnot, depending on. So it was like quick. I set up yesterday, did the framework yesterday, and then I finished it off. We're going to get into the scriptures on why we finish it off the day of. But it is a feast day, so you don't want to waste the whole day just building the tabernacle as well. So I will be teaching. We'll go over these scriptures. I'm going to teach on how to keep the Feast of Tabernacle throughout these 7 days. On the 8th day, it'll be a Sabbath, so we might just chill out that day. But I will be teaching on how to keep it. Today I'm going to deal with something else, a different topic, but we'll be teaching on that. So in the meantime, with all that said being done, let's let the fingers do the walking and the scriptures do the talking. Praise the Almighty. Let's get it. So we'll be having a feast all 7 days. I will be teaching all 7 days. Day 2 through 6 will be mini services. Mini services, and then the first day and the very last day, the day of rest, will be a standard service. So praise the Almighty. Let's get into a bit. Leviticus 23. We're going to start at verse 33. So today is going to be a positive day, a prosperity teaching day. You're like, what? Simon's also actually going to be a prosperity teaching? Do some prosperity teaching? Not be a prosperity teaching, but do some prosperity teaching. Yeah, today I am, because something came to my mind, so I definitely want to hit on it. So Leviticus 23, we're going to start at verse 33. Let's get it. And the Almighty spake unto Moses, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 15th day of the 7th month shall be a feast of tabernacle for 7 days unto the Almighty. Now, if you look at on the 15th day, so the 14th and 15th day roughly is the middle of the month on a Hebrew calendar, so there should be a full moon. So if you look up tonight, there will not be a full moon, maybe 95%, 97% full moon, because it actually hit last night around 2:55 a.m., right? So that's why we started it. The first day started last night at sunset. So when they looked up in the sky, there was a full moon. So, you know, you should see pretty much a full moon today, a little bit past, a little bit less, like 95, 93% or something. I don't know, about time a couple of hours passed. So it says on the verse 33, on the 15th day of the 7th month shall be a feast of tabernacle, 7 days unto the Almighty. So this is what we'll be feasting 7 days, eating unto the Almighty, fellowshipping with brothers and sisters, calling brothers and sisters, seeing how they're doing, you know, really try to convocate with these brothers and sisters. Let's keep going. 7 days shall you offer an offering made by fire unto the Almighty. On the 8th day shall be a holy convocation unto you. You shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Almighty as a solemn assembly. You shall do no silver work. So now it is our offering. It says give a sacrifice of praise. So use this time to be diligent about praying to the Most High. Use this time to really be seeking Him in everything you do. This is a good opportunity, because we're going to deal probably tomorrow on what the Feast of Tabernacle symbolizes and how it's not fulfilled. So let's keep going. These are the feasts which you shall proclaim to be holy convocations, meaning you gather together, an offering made by fire unto the Almighty, a burnt offering, a meat offering, a sacrifice, a drink offering, everything upon its day. Besides the Sabbath of the Almighty, besides your gifts, besides all your vows, besides all your free will offerings, we shall give unto the Almighty. In the 15th day of the 7th month, you shall have a gathering of the fruit of the land, and you shall keep the feast unto the Almighty 7 days. And on the first day shall be a Sabbath, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath. So it says 7 days. So you feast for 7 days unto the Almighty. The first day you have a service. It'll be a Sabbath. Day 2 through 6 is not a Sabbath. The 8th day, when the feast is over, it says, because you celebrate 7 days, just rest that 8th day. So let's keep going. It shall be a Sabbath. And you should take unto the first day of the brose of goodly trees, the brose of goodly trees, and branches of palm trees, and brose of thick trees, and willows of the brook, and you shall rejoice before the Almighty 7 days. So you take like this one. Hopefully I don't break my little pillar. So brose of thick trees. Kind of get my little support going on. Set this up. But the thick trees and whatnot, and then you make your I done messed it up. Here we go. Here we go. Cool. So verse in the 7th month, and you shall rejoice, verse 40, before the Almighty your Yah 7 days, and you shall keep the feast unto the Almighty 7 days in the year, and it shall be a statute forever, 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 forever. In your generation, oh, that's just my generation. In your generation, so it's perpetual. You shall celebrate in the 7th month. And this is not, Feast of Tabernacles is not fulfilled for all those Christians out there. And I'm going to show you throughout these feasts how it's not fulfilled. You shall dwell in booths 7 days, and all the Israelites that are born shall dwell in booths. So you shall dwell in booths because we came out of the booths. And they're like, oh, see, that's just for the Gentiles. But also remember, there was a mixed multitude that came out too. And it says there's one matter of man for Israelite and those and a stranger. There's one law. If you want to become a part of the body, you got to keep the law. There is no Gentile coming to the Almighty and they just get to do what they want to do. They can still eat pork, they can still break the Sabbath, they can do what they want to do, because they say, oh, even though I believe in serving the true and living Yah, I don't have to do that because I'm not a Hebrew. No, he says there's one law. Every person had to come. Once you decided in the old covenant you wanted to get circumcised, you had to keep the same law. If you're a Gentile that got circumcised in the old covenant, you got to keep the same law as all the Israelites. In like manner, if you're a Gentile that wants the circumcision made without hands and the circumcision of the heart, you got to come into the same covenant as everyone else. So let's keep going. And booths, and that your generation may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am the Almighty, your Yah, right? So you dwell in booths. And I'll teach you how to dwell in booths, because some people think you have to actually sleep in booths, and that's not what it's saying. And some people misconstrue what a tabernacle is and what a booth is, because the definition could be a synonym for a tent, but booth means a booth, and I'll show you later on that it's symbolized into a gazebo. So let's keep going. Give me Romans chapter 12. So the thing with the feast day, why I want to encourage you, is because, see, the feast day is always a sacrifice, and we notice that I'm just showing you what it took. We noticed that the Passover, the Passover, you can't eat anything with leaven, and you got to take what they call the Lord's Supper, and you got to examine yourself to see if you're in the faith. You have Feast of Unleavened Bread, and it's hard eating things without leaven. It's actually a sacrifice, even though we're feasting unto the Almighty. But when you got to clean your whole house, the stove, the microwave, clean out your toaster, under the stove, under the microwave, get all the leaven out of your house, all the yeast, leavening agents out of your house, it's actually a sacrifice. The blowing of trumpets, not too much. You sacrifice probably a missed work day. Day of Atonement, you're fasting. Feast of Tabernacles, you're having service 7 days straight, or meeting with the brother 7 days straight, as well as you have to build a booth. There always comes a sacrifice. And the thing I like about Feast of Tabernacle is because it shows where people's heart is. Because you gotta go out of your way, and it's easy to just not eat pork, but you gotta, if you live in an apartment, you gotta come and find a location. You gotta find resources like wood, and then sometimes you gotta buy stuff. You pretty much, this is pretty easy. This is all it took. Some loppers, because I knew that they cut everything when I spied out a day before, and maybe a little handsaw to cut, somewhat of a thick piece of wood, maybe something a little bit smaller than a soda can thickness and whatnot for your pillars. You know, if you're going to make it fully supported on itself or use a tree to make your booth, however you decide. But it's always a sacrifice, a lot of times, us serving the Most High. And this is where it shows you where your heart is, because everyone wants the cool things where the Almighty brings manna down, or gets the burning bush, or gets visions and gets dreams, or gets the gift of prophecy. And everyone wants those things, or everyone wants to serve the Almighty. But when it comes to sacrifice, it's different. So go ahead and give me Romans chapter 12. Romans chapter 12. We'll start at verse 1. Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercy of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Almighty, which is your reasonable service. So we have to be a living sacrifice, because it's one thing to just die for the Most High, like the apostle said. Oh, I'll die for you. It says, you guys will flee. Smite the shepherd and you'll flee. No, I'll die with you. All the apostles said, we'll die with you. But then when it came down to it, some of them fled naked. Peter, in the beginning, he denied him 3 times, because it's harder to live for the Almighty than to just step up and just die for the Almighty. It's harder for that. And they wanted to just go guns a-blazing and die for him and just, but he said, no, I want you to live for me. Live for me. I want you to live for me. I want you to be a living sacrifice. They said that they'll die. It's right or die. And in a certain situation, it's easy. If we're in a gunfight and it's right or die, and you got to die for the Most High, we're in the gunfight, and if I get shot, I die. You know what I'm saying? So they roll, hey, I'll die for you. But when the situation came when they're going to get captured, and it's possible they could get tortured, a lot of them fled. They couldn't even die for them. But it's much more harder to live for them, because you get in these situations like the feast day where you have to, for the rest of your life, be a living sacrifice. You have to be a living sacrifice. So let me show you something. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4. And we're going to start at verse 4, like I said, but I forgot. Deuteronomy 6, verse 4. It says, Hear, O Israel, the Almighty, our Yah is one Almighty. And thou shalt love the Almighty with all thy Yah, with all of thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all of thy might. So that's the hardest commandment, is to love him with everything you got. And these words this day which I command thee shall be in thy heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and thou shalt talk with them when thou sittest in the house, when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, when thou risest up. So, but my key point is to love him with all thy heart. And not everything is convenient. And that's the point of us serving the Most High and being a living sacrifice. Foundation, then we'll get into deeper. 2 Corinthians chapter 11. Second Corinthians chapter 11. Starting at verse 1. Would to the Almighty you could bear with me a little of my folly, and indeed bear with me, for I am jealous over you with a godly jealousy. For I have espoused you to one husband, that you may present you as a chaste virgin unto the Most High. That hits so many points. One is, I espouse. You're engaged. You're waiting to dowry to be paid, and you're waiting to be married to the Most High. So this is where first the bride of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? You're married to the Most High. And then 2, it says, I present you a chaste virgin. A chaste virgin, because you could be a virgin and not have any intercourse, but you could have went down on someone could have went down on you, you could have been hugged up, you could have been do all other sexual acts, but the act of actual intercourse, you're not a chaste virgin. You could be a virgin, but you're not a chaste virgin. So it says that I could present you a chaste virgin without any iniquity in you unto the Most High. But if we are the bride of Amashiach, then when people make vows in the world, they say for better or for worse. Because you got to be married and you got to love someone when it's inconvenient to you. And this is why I like the Feast of Tabernacle, because we're keeping a feast unto the Almighty, and it's not convenient for us. If you have a house and you have a backyard, it's easy. You could go to Home Depot, buy some plywood, get some sticks, whatnot, some posts from the hanger rods or whatnot. You could hammer, zip tie, screw, whatever. Bam, go get some bushes out of wherever, put it on top. It's way easier, it's way convenient. But when you live in an apartment and you gotta go to a canyon or go to a park and you gotta set up shop, it's not convenient. But I gotta love the Almighty for better or for worse. Perfect example is sister. She showed me, not a sister in the Almighty yet, but a lady. She showed me that she has to keep the feast, but the weather for this week is raining. It's going to be 60% chance of rain. It's going to be raining. So she not only possibly has to make this tabernacle in the rain, but she has to dwell in booths for the whole 7 days. And me, like manner, when I was coming to set up shop, it was like 94, 95 degrees or 90. It was in the low 90s yesterday. So I'm sitting there hot trying to find my stuff. Unfortunately, it was easy because a lot of this stuff was cut down. I didn't know that though. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was easy or not for me to set up shop and get all my wood and whatnot, I was going to do it. Whether it took me an hour or whether it took me 15 minutes, I had the mindset I'm going to serve the Most High. We got to serve the Most High when it's inconvenient. It's when the only time, if the Almighty wants to use us, whenever we're driving down the street and it's convenient for me to just hand out $5 to a homeless guy, that's convenient. That's real easy. But when you're walking down the street for a walk and the guy was like, hey man, can you give me something to eat? And you know that you got to go 3 blocks out of the way to go get him something to eat and come back, or you need to go drive to the store to get this man some shoes and come back. There's times where I got my beat up pair of shoes, balance on one foot, beat up pair of shoes, right? And then I got my nice pair of shoes. So whenever I go to canyons or whatnot, I got my beat up pair of shoes, and I don't like using my nice shoes unless I'm going to the gym or going out. So when I see there's a dude walking barefooted, a homeless dude, and in my mind is like, oh dude, I gotta get this dude some shoes. But then I only have my nice shoes. I'm end up messing up my nice shoes, and I gotta buy some more nice shoes. And in your flesh, you don't want to do it because it's inconvenient for you. But you're like, hey bro, you need some shoes? And I'm like, yeah, I really appreciate that. So you take off the shoes that you got on you, you know what I'm saying, and you give them your shoes, Hey, it says, hey, he that have 2 clothes, give the one that have none. Or other scriptures in the body, it says, hey, I've never walked by someone that was just lacking, and I just did not try to help him. But that's a situation where serving the Almighty is inconvenient for us. Sometimes it's real convenient when you take a wife and you can have sex with her. It's convenient, man. Being married is cool. I have on-demand vagina, you know what I'm saying? But when you get in arguments, or when your wife may become blind and you got to help her, or when she gets in a car accident and she's in a wheelchair for the rest of her life, it may put a toll on you. But you made a commitment to her that, whether you use the little center vows for better or for worse, but you made a commitment to her just like we made a commitment to the Most High, that hey, no matter what happens, whether it's convenient or inconvenient, I'm going to love you, Almighty. I'm going to be your child. I'm going to be your bride. I'm going to do your will. Whether it's rainy and I got to build a tabernacle, or whether it was 90 degrees yesterday and I got to build one, I'm going to still serve you. I'm going to still put you first. And I like the Feast of Tabernacle, and even though it's not super prosperity like you thought, but I like the Feast of Tabernacle, and we're going to get into the scriptures. I'm ranting a little bit. Bear with me. You know how I am. Most of the time I hit a whole bunch of scriptures. But because it shows you how much effort you want to put. And I'm not saying you have to deck this, and there's some nice tabernacles out there, and I feel like their heart is in the right spot. Like I want to give my best to the Most High. Some people may do it so they have bragging rights, like the Pharisees deck themselves with nice robes that look super holy. Maybe some people do that, but I will look at when you have your curtains and you deck out your stuff and you're really trying to give the Almighty your best, then the Almighty sees that. When I have to go to a canyon and then what I got is what I got, you know what I'm saying? The Almighty sees that I put effort, but it shows the effort you put in to serve the Most High. Because it's so much easier to say, hey, I'm not prepared, I'm just not going to do it. Or this year I'm just going to pass. And why would you? One, it's not the fact that you're breaking a commandment because he commanded me. These are my feasts. and there's people that keep the Sabbath and then just pick and choose which feast days they want to keep, you might as well just break the Sabbath. Because these are all Sabbath and these are all feasts. The Sabbath is a feast unto the Almighty, a holy convocation. If you read Leviticus 23, and these feast days a holy convocation in the Sabbath as well. You can't just keep the feast day and not keep the Sabbath, or keep the Sabbath and not keep the feast day. These are all Sabbaths. These are all Sabbath. These are all holy convocations. These are all feasts unto the Almighty. And so you can't just pick and choose. So when you see this come and you say, you know what, I'm just going to pass the day, what are you showing the Almighty? We have to get to a point to where we go beyond just sin or not sin. What are you showing the Almighty when you decide to not keep a feast, knowing you should? What kind of relationship do you really have with the Most High? Because your relationship cannot be that good if you're just going to willingly say, yeah, I'll pass. But then they will not willingly say, yeah, I just don't feel like coming to work today, and I'm not even going to call or anything. I'm just going to no-show. There's some people that do it and they don't keep a job, but most of you people out there just don't no-show and no-call, because essentially that's what you're doing. You're no-showing, no-calling on the Almighty. He has a day to set up. You present yourself before the Almighty. We eat before the Almighty. We sing songs. It's a holy convocation, and you just say, you know what, I'm going to no-show, no-call. You have the decency to call, and some people will make up some lies saying, oh, I'm sick or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But that's essentially what you do. It's either you keep it or you no show, no call on the Almighty. There's no, I'm going to pray Almighty this year, I'm just not going to keep it because what's he going to say? No. We don't have days off with the Almighty. We got to serve the Almighty all the time. It's a lifelong commitment. I don't go to my wife and say, today I'm just not going to be your husband, but tomorrow and the next couple weeks I'll be your husband. Every once in a while, I'm just not your husband. Either we have a commitment with the Most High, either we're the bride of the Most High, either we're a spouse of the Most High, we're a son, we're a daughter of the Most High, or we're not. There is no buffet bar. These commandments are here for every man to obey and adhere to, and we don't just pick and choose. Else you might as well just call yourself a Christian, because that's what they do. They pick and choose what they want to do. And so this is why I like the Feast of Tabernacle, because you have to be proactive. You have to build some stuff, and not just no Coleman tent. But I'm going to get some shout-outs, and then we'll carry on with the scriptures. Let's get some shout-outs going on. Praise the Almighty. Shout-outs to, sometimes if we forget you, sometimes I forget to do the shout-outs, but it's not that I forgot. She'll give it to me, and then sometimes I'll forget that to say it. So it's not that I forgot about you. Kovesh, Dominguez, Angel, Johnny, Mania, Maneyah, Katura, Ethan, Gia, Tommy Wright, Kamengo, Savio, Kamoga. So praise the Almighty. Like I said, for some of you people that's new to the Feast of Tabernacle, I'll teach on why it still stands, how do you keep it, what does it symbolize. We're going to get through that. But let me show you a couple of scriptures. Give me Matthew chapter 25. So when I talked to this lady, and it seemed like she was almost giving up hope and keeping it, and all you people out there that didn't know about it or may have been thinking about not keeping it this year, hey, it's 7 days long. It's better for you to try than to not try at all. Even if you're supposed to set your stuff up today on the feast, and it says on the first day, knock this out, But, all right, well, I'm going to put some effort today, and I'll probably sometime, maybe I got to go wait for my paycheck to buy some loppers, or I'm just going to use this saw or this axe, or axe to borrow an axe. With every problem, there's a solution to it. And you have the ability. This is almost one feast other than buying food, because it's a feast day. This cost me $14 at Harbor Freight. You could buy probably some for cheaper, see some at a yard sale or something. I don't know. But there's a way to do it. Even if you had to drive an hour away to build a tabernacle, and to go there, and you got to drive an hour out of your way to be under there to get some prayer in under the booth or whatnot, or read a couple of chapters or whatnot. Look at what you're showing the Most High. Look at the one that says, well, it's raining, or I can't do this, or it's hot, or I don't have the money for this. And this guy said, you know what? I can't really do it how I want, but I'm gonna at least try something for the Most High. If I gotta drive 30 minutes out, or if it's super inconvenient, who's showing the Most High who's diligent? When we see in the Bible, some gave out of their abundance. There's people giving a whole bunch of money in the chest at Jerusalem in the temple, and this lady gave like 3 little mites. She gave all her living. She said he gave in more. She gave in more than all those, because they gave out of their abundance, but she gave out of her whole living. You know what I'm saying? And the Almighty blessed. Almighty gave her more reference. Because it's easy for someone to say, yeah, on the balcony, I got plenty of money, I'll just build a tabernacle and make it look nice. But when someone does have to be out there in the rain, or out there in the heat, or drive far out to find a place, and they got to drive out of their way and burn gas money to get to that tabernacle every single day, who's showing Almighty, I love you? Almighty, I put you first. Which one you think is showing the Almighty more love? And I'm not taking away from the people that have money and say you have to force and do things below your means, or put an unnecessary burden on you, because even though you have the ability to do it better. But I'm saying, who is the one showing that they're really diligently, and then they show that they love the Almighty? The Almighty's going to see that sacrifice, because it says, we just read, be ye a living sacrifice. So if you got to drive 30 minutes out of your way, if you got to go to a canyon, if you don't like bugs, if you're a girl and you got to do it on your own because husband's not going to help or whatever, right? And you got to build this tabernacle. Look at what you're showing the Most High. You're showing him, hey, I love you. Hey, I love your ways. Hey, I'm serious about this thing. I really want to build my relationship with you. It says we delight in his ways, and we hate every false way. So let's keep going. Give me Matthew chapter 25. We're going to start at verse 34. Matthew 25, verse 34. Let's get it. It says, then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come, you blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared from you from the foundation of the world. Don't we want the Almighty to say that to us? If the Almighty said, come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. Naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me. Then shall the righteous answer and say unto them, Almighty, when saw we thee a hungered and fed thee, or thirsty and gave thee not to drink? And when saw we thee a stranger and took thee in, and naked and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick and are in prison and came to thee? And the king shall answer unto him and say unto him, verily I say unto you, insomuch as you have done it unto the least of these my brethren, you have done it unto me. And so he's also referring to the people in the body, but this also refers to go out there and feeding the homeless and the needy. We see other scriptures. So in the direct context, he's talking about people when you did this to the brothers in the Almighty. And there's some of you guys that can't even do this to people obeying. That's a shame. Let's keep going. Then he shall say also unto them on the left hand, depart from me, you cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was a hungered, and you gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and you took me not in. And you took me not in. Naked, and you clothed me not. Sick and in prison, and you visited not me. Then they shall answer and say, Almighty, when saw we thee a hunger, or a thirst, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister unto thee? Then he shall answer unto you, verily I say unto you, insomuch you did it not unto the least of these, you did it not unto me. So that means if you ain't there to be there for your brothers and sisters, you go into the lake of fire. Let's keep going. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into eternal life. So we see, when we see a person naked, or need food, or thirsty, or behind in bills, it's going to be inconvenient sometimes. But when it's the most inconvenient, this is your opportunity to show the Almighty you're most sincere. And it's almost like there's no such thing. I'm being a little abstract. Bear with me. I'm getting a little philosophical. It almost to the point where none of the commandments even exist. Just follow me. The Sabbath, the eating pork, none of those commandments even exist. There is no such thing as breaking commandments. But it's, how is your heart really in tune with the Most High. Because he says, I put this Sabbath in there and I let you to prove you whether you obey with me or not. He said, hey, 6 days take up manna, but the seventh day don't take up manna. And he said he did that to prove them whether they'll love me or not, whether they'll keep my commandments or not. So at the end of the day, it's not about the Sabbath, or it's not about eating pork. It's not about keeping any commandments. It's about, is your relationship right with the Most High? And then how do you prove your relationship is right? How do you prove you really love the Most High? By keeping his commandments. Because he puts this in a place as a filter, and anyone who could get past the filter truly loves the Most High. But anyone gets stuck at not building a tabernacle, stuck at not eating pork, stuck at not keeping the Sabbath, stuck at not stealing, not lying. You're getting stuck at this filter. Only the people that really love the Most High gets through this filter. And so the commandments almost mean nothing. It really just, how much do you really love the Most High? And if you do, pass through this filter. And so when we build the tabernacle and not find reasons why we can't, but find solutions why we can't. If I take this job, they're going to want me to break the Sabbath. I'm just going to have to find a different job. Because I love the Most High more than that job. I love the Most High more than that money. I love the Most High more than my friends and through my family. So I'm able to go through this filter that he has for us. I'm able to pass through. And so don't run and say, Simon's saying don't keep the commandments. And I'm not saying that. I'm saying it gets to the point where the Sabbath or any other commandment we need to keep in the Bible has nothing to do with anything. It's just, do you love the Most High? Because why would I not want to do something? It says he delights in the righteous. So why would I do things that he does not delight? I don't do things to intentionally make my wife upset. And it says, with your children, it says don't cause them to wrath, or don't provoke them to wrath. I'm not going to provoke my kid to disobedience. And I'm not going to do things intentionally to offend people, to make them upset or frustrated or depressed or angry at me or at life or anything. So why would I want to, if I love the one that created all things, that's given me life, that blessed me with health or jobs or anything, if I truly love him, why would I want to do something that makes him upset or gives him a slap in the face or shows that I must not love him that much? And so that's why I think the Most High, I think this lady is going to end up making one in her backyard. I think she talked to her aunt and whatnot. But that makes me happy that there's people still trying to seek the Most High and still trying to be diligent. It's so easy to say, well, I just can't do it and money doesn't... Okay, I hear your problem. So what's your solution to that? And then when you talk to people that say they love the Most High and whatnot, you'll find it common that the reason why they're not disobeying a commandment, there's an easy solution. But that solution takes a sacrifice. It takes more energy to do the solution than to go ahead and just go the easy route and just not do it. This is why I have the mindset to fight for my marriage, because we had some marriage problems back in the day. It seems like an everlasting up and down roller coaster, but there was a time where the easy solution is always to separate. And as far as a man, I can't speak for a woman because they're usually being oppressed by the man. The man's usually the stubborn or anger issue or saying hurtful things. They're usually in a position of power or whatnot. Not all the case. Mainly, unless they're a simp, then no, it could be reversed. The woman's being in control. But then they're super simp and they vagina whipped, and they need to get out of that mindset. But so when a woman wants to give up, and what I've seen in some cases is because she's being oppressed, and I just don't want to be oppressed anymore. That's different. It's like, I'm not going to be your doormat. I'm not going to deal with this. That's totally different of standing up for what's right. And I'd rather, but as a man, if you know that, the easy route is to just, let's just go ahead and dissolve this. I couldn't go get another one, but let's go ahead. It's just easier to just separate. Or the solution is, why don't you just fight for your marriage? You're part of the problem. So why don't you just put energy? Now I'll have to put extra energy. It takes more energy to build a marriage than to maintain one. If you maintained a healthy marriage, you could just be on cruise control. But since you cause damage, a lot of you men out there might share my same testimony. Since you cause damage in your marriage, you have to put more energy to repair and to replenish and to redeem a marriage than it was just to just treat your wife right and just maintain it on cruise control the whole time. And what most man wants to do, or most people that aren't really trying to love the Most High, they know they got to keep the Sabbath, and it's cool keeping the Sabbath when it's convenient, but when it comes to them losing their job, or they know that when it comes to them losing family members because they're not going to keep Christmas, or when it comes to building this tabernacle, there we go, this tabernacle, it's easier to say, oh, well, it's too cold, or it's too hot, or I don't do this, I don't have a place. Go find a place to build it. I don't know any places. Go Google some place. Go Google some canyons. Go Google some parks. Go Google. Like, there's easy solutions to this, but it would take effort, and it would take them to get in their car and drive and find a location, find some places to get some wood, build this thing. People probably looking at them like they crazy, and the energy and the time it takes to do that outweighs their love for the Most High. So it's better for them to just choose the easy way out. And that's the thing is, if you say you love your wife or you love your husband, or I don't believe in love, either you love them or you don't. Oh, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. I don't believe in that stuff, but that's fine. People believe in that. That's whatever. So if you say you love your wife, then put the extra energy into your wife. Don't just go the easy route and just separate. If you say you love the Almighty, then put the extra energy, because we're the bride, or we're a spouse to the Most High, waiting for him to come down for his bride, which is the congregation. We're a spouse to him. Put the extra energy into your marriage with the Most High. Put the extra energy into it. Don't just say, here's a problem, and I just give up. And it will be like the smallest problem. Like I've heard people say, I don't know where to do it. Like, you can't go look? You can't go look? It's like, I don't know. It's like, oh, you need a job. You need a job? You need to keep the Feast of Tabernacle. Feast of Tabernacle? I don't know where I could build it. You need a job? I don't know who's hiring. So do you just not look for any? You know what? I know I need a job, but I don't know who's hiring. So I don't know. I'm just going to stay home and not do nothing and stay broke. Or what do? You go out there and find a place who's hiring, right? You go out there online. You go out there and do this. But then when it comes to Feast of Tabernacle, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Oh, I'm just doomed. I'm just doomed. The Almighty's just going to have to understand I'm just doomed, and I just can't keep his day. Even though I could easily solution is get your butt in a car, get on Google, Facebook, ask people, figure it out, come up with the solution, and then overcome it, and then show the Almighty you love him. Show the Almighty you love him. Let's keep going. Give me 2 Chronicles, last two scriptures. 2 Chronicles chapter 9. This actually was supposed to be a prosperity. I was supposed to teach good things today, but praise the Almighty. 2 Chronicles chapter 9. It's one of my favorite scriptures. 2 Chronicles chapter 9. Starting at verse... 2 Chronicles chapter 16, verse 9. Second Chronicles chapter 16, verse 9. For the eyes of the Almighty run to and fro throughout the whole earth to shew himself strong on the behalf of them whose heart is perfect towards him. Herein thou hast done foolishly, therefore henceforth thou shalt have wars. That's because this king, he went to the Gentiles for help to fight this battle when he should have sought the Almighty. But it says, he's saying, the prophet said to him, the eyes of the Almighty go to and fro the whole earth to look for people whose heart is perfect before him. So when you see, like the Feast of Tabernacle, when we see the Feast of Tabernacle, and your heart's right, you're going to find a way to build your tabernacle. Because he's looking now, when he comes down and he sees 2,000 plus years later that there's people like me, not even because I don't set the bar, that there's people on this planet that's still building their tabernacle and still building their booth and still taking the time and lopping down trees, just like the scripture we just read in Leviticus 23, and building their booth because our heart wants to be perfect with the Most High. He's not looking for the people that's, oh, well, I can't do it this year because it's too cold or it's rainy. He's not even looking for these people. He says the eyes of the Almighty go to and fro the whole earth to shew himself strong on the behalf of those whose heart is perfect before him. That's who he's looking for. That's who he's looking for. Let's keep going. I'll show you another one. I think it's in John. I'm going to find this. This is off the dome. Turn the Gospel, John. This one's off the dome. This is a little side note. Gospel, John. And we'll go with verse chapter 4. John chapter 4. And we deal with verse 23. John chapter 4, verse 23. It says, "But the hour cometh, and now is, where the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeks such to worship him." Now we just read another scripture. It says the Almighty goes to and fro the whole earth to show himself strong on the behalf of those whose heart is perfect before him. Now here it says this is who he's searching for. "But the hour cometh, and now is, where the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. The Almighty is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship in spirit and in truth." So he's only looking for people whose heart is perfect before him. He's only looking for people who's diligent about keeping his commandment and his ways, because that is the filter to get into the kingdom. That is who he's going to know who truly loves him. So let's keep going. Last scripture. Give me Luke chapter 18. And we'll start at verse 1. And I'll read the whole thing. I'm going to squeeze this in. "And he spake a parable unto this end, that men ought always pray and not to faint, saying, There was in a city a judge, which feareth not the Almighty, neither regarded man. And there was a widow in the city, and she came unto him, saying, Avenge me of my adversaries. And he would not for a while, but afterwards he said within herself, Though I fear not the Almighty, nor regard man, yet because this widow troubleth me, I will avenge her, lest by her continually coming she weareth me. And the Almighty said, Hear what the unjust saith. And shall not the Almighty avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he hear them long with them? I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on earth?" When the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith? Shall he find people still keeping his commandments? Like when it says build a tabernacle. Shall he find people that still has faith in him? That still has a perfect heart, whose heart is perfect before him? Shall he find people that wants to worship him in spirit and in truth? That's who he's looking for. When the Son of Man comes, he's finding people that have faith. If everyone else on this planet decides not to build a tabernacle and the Feast of Tabernacle, I still will, Almighty. I still have faith. I still love you. I'm going to love you whether it's convenient or inconvenient for me. Through the good times and through the bad. If I'm trying to be the bride of the Most High, a son of the Most High, you out there being a son or a daughter of the Most High, through the good times or the bad, do you just deny your son when he's good? When he's bad, then he's not your son? And then when he's good, he's your son? That you love him regardless in his state of condition? And regardless in like manner, he should be able to love you and take you as a father regardless of your state of condition. Unless he's just a deadbeat or whatnot, and he's on drugs and put his hands on him or molest him or something. But you get what I'm saying. In like manner, my relationship with the Most High regardless of if the Almighty took my job away, which I hope He doesn't, but that I could still love Him. If my kids got in a car accident and took them away, I still want to love them. Job's situation was one of the worst that I've seen. He lost everything, but that did not dictate his love. His relationship was under a heavy load, and he didn't understand why all these things was going his way. But regardless, he was going to put his faith in Him. Regardless, he was going to love the Most High. And regardless, he was going to keep the Most High's commandments. And that's how we need to be. We can't have excuses why we can't keep His commandments. We got to keep pressing. We got to keep striving. So, is there any comments or anything? Shalom. All right. No comments. Shout out to, I think we have one person. Angels on. Shalom. And all the other people that's probably going to watch late. Yeah, service that thing. I should have posted when service was going to start. I'll try to post that up. Praise the Almighty. All you people out there, Whitney, go ahead and get everyone's tabernacle so we can put it on there. Let people know that, hey, there's people in the Almighty still keeping His commandments. And as well, hey, it's not too late. If you didn't finish your tabernacle, hey, still try to show the Almighty and put effort. You heard the message. It's not too late to put effort. Show the Almighty you love Him and you want to seek His will. So with all that said being done, keep standing. Don't drop standards. Give the Almighty a hand clap. Shalom.